Pojedziesz.
It's also not so point for the
Last War kenapa sih? Di iklannya bilang ada game gerbang angka beneran. Jalan ke kiri, ke kanan, kali 2, minus 3, tapi...
Soften more. Let's get up knees, did you? It's not here to score share officers.
kiri, ke kanan, kali 2, minus 3, tapi...
Soften more. Let's get up knees, did you? Soften more. Let's get up knees, did you? It's not here to score share officers. Man, I can't wait to take center stage. Two, let's put you on the...
Every slip up out of bounds, every time I found the ground.
Mobility on that carry. So BlueSkate Esports are just getting kited a bit too much. They have to rely a bit more on the crowd control. Unless Wagner or Xe gets a decisive catch or engage, I don't really think they have what it takes to kind of move forward slowly but surely.
Yeah, honestly, BlueSkate, they can't be one-trick ponies going up against Team Zone here. They got to figure out a different way to engage into a fight. Force allows Xora to use the Traceless first and then get onto him.
They waited for the right time. They managed to get the stun onto Kazue, forcing him to back out. However, it did come at the cost of the Dragon Boat. And now that they're looking across the map, right, the quick lane swap as well. Kazue, luckily, is maintaining his lead against Zexora, but that top side, K, they're not stopping. They're sacrificing targets just to get him ahead.
And the thing is, right now, as long as Team Zone is able to control Xe, they're all good. Because Xe is the real threat for Team Zone. He doesn't even have to get those kills. He just has to be, I would say, give vision as well as lock down either Zexora or K. Lockdown for 2 seconds is more than enough for Boozgate to follow up.
And now here we go, Bravest Fighter, Kazue able to secure the turtle. Feather Airstrike out and cancel. Xe petrifies him and now is on the chase. The Furious dives go nowhere as Zexora is going to take him out. Bankai actually finds it. With the help of the AG, cutting them off. Wacker cannot just run through that fire. Really good play coming in from Team Zone.
Boozgate Esports just don't have enough damage. Xe there, he got the full-on rotation onto Kenny, and still, even without the Feather Airstrike zoning away Identity and RX, they just seem so behind that RX and Identity themselves don't really have a lot of damage, even when they're left to their own devices.
Well, Lefel, what do you think? Because in that fight itself, usually what we're used to seeing is when you wombo combo, you kind of do it at the same time, but the layering of the the Feather Airstrike, then the AOG to cut them off. What do you think about that?
Well, we're going to be looking at an instant replay here to see the play that Boozgate attempted. But again, retaliate pretty well by Team Zone. They got the turtle, but looking at the movements here, it does look like they're not all on the same page. Xe understands his job as the EXP, trying to stop Kenny, but then the rest of the team, especially Identity, was far enough away, zoned out by Team Zone, making it so that Boozgate engages does not look clean at all. They don't have enough damage because this Granger, after the nurse, oh, hold on. Oh,
Feather Airstrike, gonna take out Xe. Glorious Pathway was already thrown out, but again, Blackheart just could not close the distance to cancel it out. Not enough HP.
Yeah, just to make it very simple, Boozgate needs to play around Xe. When Xe goes in, he, in a way, understands that he will die, but you guys got to retaliate. RX with 0 stacks on that Sky Piercer really made it so that Boozgate does not have enough damage.
And they have to follow up somehow, some way, even if they can't really go in and get a kill or a big catch off it. Especially Kazue, I feel like he and Xe need to coordinate and figure out who's doing what. Who's actually going to try and jump towards K or Kenny, who's zoning, who's actually going for the kill. Because as of right now, it seems like everyone is playing template and Team Zone are getting a read on who's actually doing what from Boozgate Esports.
Yeah, I think especially for Team Zone, a team that is from a region that's notorious of downloading their opponents, they've got templates for days. This is atypical of how a team should be moving around the map.
Honestly, one thing that they can do is look at Bright. If Bright already used the Unbreakable, let Kazue go in, right? Go on a solo mission, make them panic, and then once everyone panics, a lot of abilities have been used, then Xe goes in. We understand that it's usually the roam or the EXP, but there's not much tools that Team Zone can use to punish this Lancelot. So I kind of feel like he has to be the initial distraction and then come back in as the cleanup.
All right, let's balance the odds here because now we're seeing a contestation for the potential Lord. Level 13 on Kazue. He can use the Phantom Execution, get in, potentially out, and Team Zone, they know as well. It's not worth contesting it here. This is the worst possible fight that we could take because if we all get executed here, it's over. And now they jump Bravest Fighter next for Bankai with the help of the Feathered Airstrike, and unfortunately, it's just raw peel for the Black Dragon forming. Xe goes in, Revitalize keeps them alive as Zexora takes them out as K attacks the backline. Double kill, already found the AOG, cuts out Kazue for a double on Zexora. T2's now a threat.
Almost a complete wipeout here for Team Zone. K on the carry again with all his teammates pressuring the members of Boozgate. There's nothing left for the punish. He flickered forward there and had his eyes straight on Identity, immediately deleting him with the fadeaway. And just like that, Team Zone now are definitely in the lead, and they're going for the Lord.
This is so frustrating, especially for RX, right? No deaths, you've been farming the whole game, you've got the items, but you can't stack up the Sky Piercer.
Yeah. Honestly, this is why Team Zone is pretty scary. The more losses that they experience, the stronger that they're going to get because, again, they love the game. They make sure that every single time they hang in one room and then figure out what went wrong and make sure that they don't do that again. In terms of what Boozgate is doing wrong, honestly, is just that this is a very difficult draft for them to pilot, especially because Kazue only been spamming the Hayabusa. The good thing that Team Zone banning out that Hayabusa, Kazue is good on the Lancelot. But definitely, it's like the entire team is not used to this kind of playstyle.
Yeah, no, they need to kind of wait for Kazuya to get in position first. It's not as easy compared to Hayabusa, who can hop over walls. They want to make sure that Kazuya can get in and out pretty safely, so they're just going to have to wait for his call. I think, personally, for me, right now we need to see a little bit from Identity to slow him down, but we'll try to see, because so far the front to back does not look good.
There's so many limited card control tools available for Boostgate, and Team Zone is completely abusing it.
Oh, okay, all right. Just 3 ults already being utilized. 4 ults as well, trying to clear up these waves, make sure the inhibitors are going to stay alive as Xora finally hits his item Pyro Spike in the BOD.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you. Identity needs to be able to do something, but Kenny, hold on.
Oh! Getting a little dangerous there, but Bankai, he's already engaged. He's already got the Lance player, and the Brave is fighting, gets it! Double kill for Bright of all players as he flickers forward to catch more! The hunt is over, and Team Zone have minions. The Crystal, the last of all Identity. Can he clear those minions up? No, they don't give him a chance. And even with the AOG, it just ain't enough. That's GG, well played for Team Zone.
Absolutely dominant showing there. Not a single step backwards from Team Zone. They are the danger, and even when the big ultimates are popped, are used by Boostgate, they just take it straight up.
Yeah, and honestly, this Pharsa coming in from Kenny is also quite a big problem. The man you see on screen here, no matter how you try to engage, Kenny just makes sure that they don't have enough damage because he's able to get onto that Kimi. And then, okay, so that's one less damage. Kazooie could not find any ways to go in, and then once Xe with that Yuzong, dealing with the Eastern Shin, dealing with the carry, dealing with the Pharsa, is not easy for Yuzong, especially when he's, in my opinion, kind of behind.
Yeah, honestly, pretty behind, because towards the end, we did see the initial switch up of first items. He started off with the boots, got into his Fury Hammer, looked at the opposite side and realized, wait a minute, the Lapu just rushed straight into War Axe, no boots whatsoever. I gotta do the same.
Yeah. Looking at the end here, again, like, you can clearly see is that even if somehow Team of Boostgate able to get some kind of punish, the damage is not there. And you can definitely feel the nerf on the Granger. I feel like Granger is still definitely viable. It's just that now you kind of have to play around him a little bit more instead of hoping for he himself to get basically the stacks all by himself.
You gotta feed him like a little baby bird, right? Get him a couple of those stacks first, and then you push him out of the nest.
He's a real marksman that takes some time, takes some resources. Not all as independent as he used to be.
Yeah.
Only different is that he's not really item dependent. He's just really kill dependent, which is pretty different, right? Compared to most marksmen where they really need items.
Yes and no at the same time, because Granger is in a really unique position. He's like, when you're talking about marksmen, he's a skill shot marksman essentially, right? How often do you actually use his auto attacks other than to ability based, you know? And that's just the way that it has to go. I think for at least if there's a learning aspect of it all.
Yep. And now we're going over for an interview with Brigida on stage.
Congratulations to Team Zone. Once again, can we please give a warm round of applause for Team Zone? Welcome, Bright and Coach Summer on stage. Congratulations after that win. So I just have a few questions for you guys after that match, okay? So this is the second time that you actually came on top of Boostgate Esports. So you went up against them already in the wildcards. Was there any difference preparing for a best of one compared to a best of three?
Yeah, because we knew what they were gonna pick, and we kind of expected what they were gonna pick, so it was easier to draft. And the pre-game talk was, of course, different from best of three. So yeah, it was different, but yeah, it was very different.
So you prefer best of one drafting compared to best of three?
Yes.
I see. All right. So for Bright, yesterday, I think we would all recall that there was a very surprising pick on the opposing team and that you suffered quite a tough loss against Yangon. So could you walk us through how the team felt and how they reacted to that Hellcurt pick that you went up against yesterday?
Ер нь бол Боныг тоглолтын дээр айлынхаа ерөн ки хиронуудын бандсан дээр идэм байлээ. Тэгээд өнөөдөр ер нь бол айлта тийм. Тэгээд өчигдөр бид нэр ер нь айлынхаа ки хиронуудыг хүндлээгөө болохоор ер нь хожигдсан гэж бодож байна. Тэгээд өнөөдрийн хувьд бол айлынхаа ер нь сайн чаддаг баатруудыг өгөөгүй тоглосон нь ер нь бид Боник дээр зөв гэж бодож байна.
Yeah, the best of one, it's a kind of a draft thing, right? They could pick anything, right? Mr. Tarkle lane, Freya jungle, as we saw. And yesterday, we didn't know what they were going to pick, and we kind of lost on the draft. But today, we knew what they were going to pick. They picked Selena and Hayabusa. We banned their key heroes. But yesterday, we couldn't do that because we had no information about them. And yeah, I think he thinks that was the turning point.
Yeah, I completely understand. I think we've been hearing a lot about how Boostgate has been constantly improving behind the scenes, especially as they step foot into the main stage. So that was very understandable, but now we see how they were able to overcome all that and now with a win against Boostgate Esports. So last question for both of you, any can answer. So you are now 2 wins away from potentially qualifying to the knockouts. So what do you guys plan to do to stay in the zone and to make sure that you can make history for Mongolia eventually?
Talking about history, everything we do from now on is history. So if we are being confident, overconfident, it's not us being cocky, it's just us being proud of ourselves. So please do understand that. And yeah, history, making history. We are already making history. So yeah, reaching to playoffs is nice, but it's not. Job is not done.
Yes, these are small wins. Whatever happens, whatever they're able to achieve, I'm sure Mongolia is very, very proud of you, and you are also gaining a lot more supporters along the way. So thank you so much to Bright and Summer for joining us on stage. We really love the answers you were able to share with us, and we wish you luck in your upcoming matches. But for now, I think it's about time we throw it back to our casters to break down what happened in that game.
Thank you very much, Brigitte. And this basically solidifies that, Team Zone, they're kind of like a late game team where the longer they're in the tournament, the more picks that they understand is going to get picked up. They're going to be looking pretty strong because, again, the last time they went up against Boostgate, it was more 50-50. But we heard from Coach Summers, like, we know what they're going to pick. They like the Haya. They like the Selena. Once we ban both those out, they're really running out of options. And we can definitely see how bad it is for them. And worse still is that not only Boostgate is 0-2 right now, their upcoming opponents kind of know what to ban now.
Man, I mean, on the flip side, though, they did say that yesterday, when there's no information, they really get caught off guard. So actually, they're going to be even more scary as contenders as the series progresses.
Well, talking about serious contenders here, let's give it up for our MVP of this game. Really nasty stuff coming in from Bankai with a fast early rush into that War Axe. But I think, again, him alongside with Bright did really good jobs at mispositioning their opponents to kind of funnel them into one hole.
Yeah, and that's why I was shouting out the Lapu, where I thought Boostgate would just take it for themselves, put it to gold lane, because their draft, I would say both teams' draft kind of suffer going up against a Lapu. So maybe just an oversight there. But either ways, yeah, Bankai had an amazing game. We're going to be looking at the highlights here. And we saw Boostgate, I would say for the first 3 minutes, they kind of know what to do. But the moment they fail on Zexora, this is the moment. It kind of looked like they were a bit lost.
Yeah.
Or the one after this.
It was an interesting moment, right? Because again, this was a really big trade with an early rotation coming in from K at level 4. Most gold laners usually just pick up the mid wave at this point, but still, K wanted to try and trade back. And this continued to be like a continuous story throughout these games. Just forced desperation engagements compared to cool, calm, collected, and then slowly regaining the resources.
I think it's great to see as well Team Zone understanding that, hey, Identity in particular and Wactor, they're kiteable. We have more range, more dynamic playmaking tools. So for the most part, it's not just about making sure that they have the right formation and get the right combos. Every single one of their heroes can actually perform individually when it comes down to bursting. They don't really rely on each other. The Yisun Shin, the Farsa, and even the carry to a degree can go all in. So when they understand who is the actual source of danger, all actually 4 members, except for Bright, can actually go in and delete whoever backline presence that Boostgate are trying to use to carry the fight. And look at the fadeaway from K. That is a common pattern throughout the whole game, dude. He just keeps flickering forward.
Yeah, for Boostgate, this is going to be quite dangerous because their next game, all of their games after this, are essentially elimination matches, and they need to diversify their pool just a little bit, because now you gotta assume that you're not gonna be getting the Selena, you're not gonna be getting the Hayabusa. For Team Zone, they did say they kind of like this best of one because it's really on the draft, and I'm guessing maybe it's just Coach Summer saying like, I feel the most important here, and and so far, yeah, he's doing quite well. Now in a 1-1, they're still going to be continuing that best of one format.
Yeah, at the very least for Team Zone, they're going to be competing in that best one. BGT is where it gets a little scary, right? Because I think their biggest strength was the fact that they play these high momentum style comps. They're great in best of ones, but now that the draft has been figured out, I think once they start getting into the best of threes, we really need to see how diverse, or at least how deep the portfolio is.
They did have their own like comeback story in the wild cards.
Yeah.
But again, they have to try and find other ways, and even find ways to get out of the box, because they know what they're good at, but sometimes it's about making sure that you're also not bad at anything and having a rounded game. Looking at the item share, by the way, right before that final push, I think Zixora picked up a BOD, but K had a Malefic gun at 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Like, bro, what the heck?
Yep.
And even there, he was still respectful enough. He was flickering forward, but he switched out one of his items for a Winter Crown just in case something gets traded back. So, dude, all the way till the end of the game, even when they're on a dominant position, you can still see the respect, and that's a scary aspect from a team that's relatively new.
And again, this is also showing the amount of information that Team Zone had, because you're right, Rashi, where Boostgate, they did have kind of a comeback run in their game against VP, but the reason why they won was that Hayabusa, the Obsidia, as well as, I would say Selena, yes, but Selena was game 5, right? But we saw all 3 heroes being banned out by Zone. I kind of feel like Boostgate was hoping they would forget about that Obsidia and let the Obsidia go. but then Team Zone's like, nah, bro. Everyone watched that game against Veep. We know your pick.
I can't deal with it personally. It feels like, honestly, because there's so little coaches in Malaysia, I might as well just like lean back on technology.
Yeah. Honestly, you guys can do that too, because you guys can check out the AI insights from the Realme 50 Pro. It has win rate predictions, can analyze goal items, everything in real time. It's like having a strategic coach in your pocket. That's the AI gaming coach for you. But it doesn't stop there. When the fight breaks out, its consecutive skills feature lets you unleash a perfect preset combo that you set up for yourself with just one tap. It guides your strategy and elevates your execution. That's a full AI-powered edge. From prediction to performance, it's the complete package. You play, we carry. Realme 15 Pro, the M7 official gaming phone.
Oh, dude.
It's so good.
I feel like these days, especially when it comes down to like competitors and phones, they're coming up with like some really good ideas to kind of help out the mobile gamers, kind of make it to that level where it's like, yeah, we're eye to eye with PC. But that's not all, because if you guys are in game, how have you guys done with the battle pass? Come on, come on.
Not so hard right now.
No, honestly, like with the schedule that we have, we barely have time to play the game. But for you guys, the M7 bonuses are here. The MS7 Pass went live on the 1st of January 2026, and it's packed with exclusive rewards like the Granger Thunder Ascendant Epic Skin, the Cosmic Finality Prime Skin, and of course the MS7 figurine alongside with the Battle Effects Prime Avatar Borders and more. Plus, get the Gatot Kacha Solo Spark skin for free. Favorite M5 Yuzong skin and Revamp M Championship skins are also making a limited time return. Don't miss out on all the wonderful rewards.
And it's quite the festival here, a celebration of mobile legends. And I'm super happy that they're coming out with the Yuzong colored skins. Oh baby, I didn't get it last year. This year I'm collecting them all.
Dude, this is your opportunity, man. I mean, it's so sad when you know like you're involved, but you don't have all the skins, right? You gotta be completionist about it.
Yeah, that was Boostgate going up against Team Zone. Congratulations to Team Zone for winning that one. Now in the 1-1 bracket, Boostgate is in the 0-2 bracket. After this, it will be Evil going up against Young Feng Yao Guai. So we're going to go for a short break, but when we return, we have more best of ones for you guys.
King Pro, M7 official gaming foam.
Nothing can withstand the withering. Against the endless erosion, my strength grew weaker by the day.
True power dwells within the spirit. Try to embrace all that you are.
Welcome to the M7 Carnival, legend. You traveled all the way to the Land of Dawn? Don't worry, we'll guide you through all the activities and wonderful experiences we have. Here's everything you can do in the M7 Carnival for ticket prices as low as 20,000 rupiah. First stop is the Stage of Legends, filled with performances, music, cheers, the biggest biggest M7 watch party, and a special performance from Stephanie Poetry on the final day of the carnival. Game recognizes game in the M7 Carnival, as we'll be collaborating with the NBA. And history is made here at the M7 Carnival, the first ever MCGG World Championship. The Go 1 Grand Final will be hosted here at Stadion Maja Jakarta. So come join us and feel the energy. Next stop, the Heroes Playground, to take photos with giant hero statues and meet cosplays of heroes from the Land of Dawn. Come to the Hall of Creators and Pros to meet and greet with top content creators. Teams from MPL ID and Legends are here. Line up, take photos, and even walk away with an autograph. Play games in the Rewards Arena to win prizes from all of our brand partners. It's at the NPL Market. Booths of your favorite teams, exclusive drops, and surprises from your favorite teams. Take a quick bite at GoPay's Land of Dine. We've partnered up with GoFood for your food and drinks. The Magic Map has shown us all 6 zones in the M7 Carnival. We're calling you to play, explore, and wander. Don't miss out on exclusive gifts ready for visitors worth over 2.5 billion rupiah, including M7 limited edition swag bags, exclusive merch, in-game chests, and special skins. Are you ready, Legend? Get your tickets soon, because we can't wait to meet you at the M7 Carnival.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We just got done with our first best of one between Boostgate going up against Team Zone, where Team Zone was able to win that one out by winning out in the draft. Welcome, my name is Rafael. Alongside me is Gideon as well as Arashi. And we got one more, well, we got 7 more, but this is going to be the second one, which is going to be Tianfeng Yaguai going up against Evil, where both teams did struggle a bit on day one.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, this one has been a very difficult decision for me to decide which team is gonna win. Of course, one is nationality-wise our neighbors, the others deep ancestors of ours, and even so, there's a big love for both of these sides. One because Evil, as part of Singapore, used to be part of Malaysia, and there's Sasa and Lung on the opposite side. So I'm torn in two.
I like how you brought up like the deep history immediately. I think it's cool. Personally, I met some of the guys from Evil yesterday, and they recognized me. So they're my boys, dude.
They're your
They have my
boys?
unwavering support right now. Shout out to Abstract who introduced us as well. But I've heard the story that they're actually a community-based team initially. Yeah. So they were like the complete underdogs with no support, and they kind of persisted. And now they're here. I mean, it's a great story. So I'm all for it.
Honestly, with that being said, what do you think are the chances of them winning against Tianfeng Yaguai? Because we're looking at this bouncing back battle, Blood Brothers at War, which is Valinator. They're brothers, but I don't think they hang out that much.
It's a Oh boy, how do we explain
which I relate. Like I have siblings, but we only meet like once or twice a year.
I feel you.
Wow.
Actually, what's the age differential between them now that I think about it?
yeah,
Because I know between me and my brother, it's like 6 to 8 years. So like it's understandable why we're not as close. But like in this case, when you're both professional players, I would imagine you'd be like, hey, brother, give me some info.
Or maybe like, oh, I know his tendencies and it pisses me off, so I don't want to play with him. Who knows, right? With Asian siblings, it's either you're really close or you're almost strangers. There's no in between, as far as I remember.
For me right now, it's mostly acquaintances.
Acquaintances?
Yeah, it's like we chat every once in a while when something is needed, you know,
Do you go to your brother is like, send me the pitch deck so we know how much mom's insurance costs? Like, show me proposals so that we can get our family things. Like, it's a bit uncomfortable at the same time, speaking about these brothers, but I think to them, it's just another day in the office. And I'm more concerned for DFYG because when we're looking on the opposite end, we're looking at a team who has played at least with a couple of veterans that have been to an international before. DFYG have never made it past the Swiss stage yet, and we're still waiting for China to get a big accolade.
Yeah, for me, looking at yesterday's game, it was a little bit weird in the sense that they keep forcing things out when they really should not be forcing things out, which kind of shows that they're still getting used to playing on stage because it does feel like your average ranked games where you're playing mostly on instinct rather than what you have pre-planned before the game. So I kind of feel like they're lacking a bit of structure, which I hope they have changed for today.
Yeah, there needs to be balance there, because if you want to go full, if you're being too textbook, it's a bad thing, but you need some kind of like foundation to really build on the early game leads, you know, the momentums, the rotations. So I really feel like they can maybe plan it out a bit more and stick to it, right? Because we saw earlier in match number 1, when you force things too much, that's where the cracks show up, right? That's where people can take advantage of that, you know, that momentum.
Well, I mean, I think we need to start also considering a couple of things. In this particular case, when we are looking at like Evil Esports' side, I'm curious whether or not Gear is able to make that big play. He's one of the few members who actually has a lot of veterancy and who used to be the pinnacle of SG Esports in the MLBB scene.
Yeah, I still remember him being quite a problem back all the way in M3, where even going up against Sodak Gear is pinnacle in actually making sure that most teams didn't get to play the game. But going up against Team Spirit, where again, Hiko as well as Kid Bomba put a lot of pressure, also to be said, Sunset Lover. So now we're looking at Tianfeng Yaguai going up against Falcons, and this is what I'm saying is that they try to force fights into early, going up against Frederick as well as Matilda, and they just end up not having enough damage. And then when it comes to the late game, once Team Falcons is able to make sure that Yi1 is not a part of the fight, they just don't have enough damage because they're playing double fighters, and I would say Yi1 is more pinnacle to winning that fight compared to Super Ken.
Yeah, no, I can definitely get behind that for sure. But I don't know about you, Rashi, but I've been a little critical about the way Superken has been playing it because it feels like as of right now, the team's kind of doing its own thing, and then Superken, very similarly to where we saw his last couple of years, last couple of months, seasons in Indonesia, was kind of the same principle of like, I will do my own thing, and if I get to a certain point, I will carry the game.
So this is why it gets a bit, difficult because Mirko is a big fan of Superken, and he is a fan of how Superken back then had ego, man. He was the carry. He wants everything. The team has to adjust to him. But at the same time, at the pro level, you need to find again that balance. Because if you're too out on your own, you are susceptible just falling into the traps of your opponents. And I think we've seen some of that. There's a little bit of it.
Yeah, I can definitely see why, because even in the China Masters, Superken, especially on heroes like a Lancelot, something that can make all by himself, he does pretty well, and that's the big difference between Yushin as well as Lancelot. I kind of feel like if he wants to play that way, if he wants to be a bit more selfish, I think something like a Lancelot might be a bit better, because when it comes to Yushin, can solo carry, but it would be very nice to have friends around, because the nature of a marksman, you kind of need a little bit of cover. At least buy him a good 3 to 4 seconds, or force out any big abilities that can punish the Yushin, and then it's free. For a Lancelot, he can just outplay all by himself. Same as a Hayabusa. So it really depends. Do you want to play around your team? Use Yushin. If you want to go solo, use a different assassin.
Which becomes a big task for when they're drafting, right? Do you want to give Superken that kind of hero, knowing that he's gonna be doing his own thing, or do you want to try and go up against something a bit more structured?
Well, I guess there is the big problem of like the way that Yi-1 plays, and I don't think it's a bad thing on certain types of heroes. But you notice that his Pharsa isn't like how most Southeast Asians play Pharsa. He really will max out that distance or be point blank to you. There's never that sweet spot where you're just enough. You have to make your opponent flicker before they get to you.
Yeah, but right now we got to talk about pick or pass here. Which brother makes the bigger impact for their team? And here's the thing. I think this is actually quite a good topic, because it's not really brother. It's more about the roles. Which one is more important like right now? Is it the jungler or is it the EXP? And I can see arguments for both.
Yeah, no, 100%. I have a personal bias. I don't know about you, Rashi, but
I have one as well.
Oh, you do? I'm leaning more into Vel on this side.
Really?
He's an EXP main. So.
EXP, I'm an EXP main, that's number one. Number two, Vel came over to Malaysia, and he actually, with the help of Ivan, did a bit of a revamp of the Homeboys roster before leaving for China.
Right.
I think that Vel provides so much more, not only in the game, but outside of the game.
I think my bias is for Ether, actually, and I think he's improved a lot. You know, he had a rough journey from back when he was on my favorite team, RRQ. That's where the bias comes in, but I think he's improved a lot. I think there's just a lot more factors now at play, and if the coach wants to really like maximize his usage, I feel like there's a lot of more factors to really think about now.
Yeah, and it's a very interesting topic, because for most of the time, the jungler is one of the most important roles in the game. But if you want to be a good jungler, you need a good EXP laner. It kind of can't be one without the other. But now we got to talk about Evil here. We got Gear, Aether, Sayla, powerful, as well as Ven. I would say Sayla yesterday actually did a pretty good job. It's just that, again, going up against Sunset Lover on that Pharsa does make it quite difficult for him to really maneuver around as that Valentina.
Personally, for me, especially when I'm looking over SG every once in a while, I have been a little critical of Powerful, but he's grown as a player significantly, and I think a lot of it does come down to Sayla's leadership alongside being able to kind of control how the game likes to progress. We saw him last year do a very similar style with the team, but then when we look at Tianfeng Yaoguai, this is where I get concerned, right? Because what kind of a draft screams this is a guaranteed win for the team? We haven't even seen Lung in a position where he feels like he's hyper carrying.
Yeah, it does look like, at least when it comes to the draft, they want to make sure that Superken can do a lot, but it's clever that going up against Tianfeng Yaoguai, you don't attack Superken, you attack the supports, and then just make him unable to move around without a team.
Right, because without proper setup from the EXP or the roam position, even in the ninja objectives where apparently the image is like, oh, Superken, just let him do his thing, get him the retry steals, but without the right setup, right? It's not really as simple as that, and I think that's an angle that can be very easily attacked by Evil in this match.
Yeah, you can't nail a wood without a hammer, right? But now, a brother's love. When asked about facing his own brother, Vel said, I'll send you home early. He also added, I still want to compete to prove that I deserve to play in Indonesia, which is also another interesting thing, that both look for success abroad.
I swear. Yeah, it's crazy because imagine being in their shoes, right? You're getting rejected by majority of teams here within one of the best regions in MLBB esports. Then you go over to China, which I'm going to say he's probably not getting underpaid. He's getting paid more than majority of people. I would assume if he's going that far out of the way, but he still has that level of patriotism. I deserve to be back in Indonesia.
He wants to. It's just where he's like comfortable with, and he knows these other players. He's actually friends with them, right? The Indonesian players are all generally aware of each other. I bet he wants to just get back to his element and prove that he is better than some of the guys he knows.
Speaking of element, LaFell, I'm curious. Why DFYG?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Really?
It's a feeling. It's a gut feeling.
It's a feeling.
It's a gut feeling.
Yeah.
That makes me nervous because usually his gut feelings.
No,
could
the
be
thing is,
correct.
Or the caster curse hits again.
No,
One
I
or
mean,
the
like,
other.
I did that yesterday, and I actually got most of them right. I only got one wrong.
It was like, what? 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
3 out of 4 predictions correct.
Yeah, I only got one wrong, and I already got zone correct.
God, he's 75% on the win rate.
Don't worry, even I'm uncomfortable.
He knows. He's aware of his powers.
Because at this
It's
point,
too strong.
when people ask me about what is my prediction, I don't know. I don't think.
all
First thing
instinct.
comes to mind. Yeah. Ask me who's my favorite child later on. I'm like, okay,
Your favorite child?
I don't have one yet.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe that's the way to go. Just have one, so people can't ask me that.
Or you
So
make hard
you have a guy
predictions.
child?
Or you make hard predictions early. I don't have a kid, but it's definitely the second one that I like more. Ruining people's days. But let's get into the draft. DFYG on the blue side, facing off against Evil on the red side. And almost straight away, we're seeing a little bit of a difference in the draft, right? The fanny bands, Jushin, great to see Banda. But Baxia, Yves expected. Baxia, interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting here. They might know that Evo might bring a Baxia, I don't know, Baxia jungle and have something damagey in the roam, which we saw yesterday. The only Baxia game that we had was when a Hellcut roam was in play. Maybe they just have some kind of information because, again, Sasa as well as Lung has been in the scene for quite a while. I'm talking about the coaches. They're in the scene for quite a while. They probably have heard rumors about certain things that Evo might want to bring up.
Let them play the
Right.
hero.
I mean, some of those picks,
will be the
right now, like
truth
with
this
Baxia,
world
it just has to be
desperately
comboed. If you bring it out alone, I don't really think it
Usually
slots
gets
in.
punished.
Yeah, it doesn't slot into a lot of comms the way it did back then, when it was really in almost every game, the Baxia. But Kalea actually, as a first pick here for DFYG, is it possibly, this is still a great pick, first pick, because like it's both a team fight pick, but also a pick-off pick, so they have flexibility here still.
Yeah, flexibility for sure. If Supercat really needs to be fed early, then yeah, Zed with this Kalea pick definitely can help out a lot. But Evil can play around it by having either a very heavy front line, something like a Grok here, and now having the Yi Sun Shin as well. So different Yaguai, I think, will probably pick up a Lancelot here. But then what's the next priority?
Yeah, I don't
necessarily maybe.
I don't know, because I feel like, usually I'm okay with Kalea openers, right? It's not the strongest openers based on what we've seen on the meta, but the bans are so strange that now this Kalea kind of opens up a couple of new factors. Number one, the fact that Grok was allowed through is kind of shocking to a certain degree, but at the same time, it goes to show that DFYG will have windows where they could potentially take out the initiators from the side of Evil, so I'm expecting the second half of the ban to be targeted towards that area, but we'll need to see first. Let's complete the first half first.
Oh, I was thinking the carry, comboing it with the Kalea makes a lot of sense. It really is a flexible hero that can fight early, they can farm towards the late game now.
Oh!
But the Harem now that's a fresh one.
Oh, I was worried because they say, what the Harem is.
Is to trick.
Does that mean they want... Why did...
Although I do have to say, I like the change on Faramis that now his ult is instant. Like, you can feel the difference.
It feels so much better.
It really helps you out, but usually this... Actually, with the Grok, it may be possible. The Faramis is super annoying if you basically force your opponents outside of the jungle, and then they will never have enough damage to deal with your ult, right? It basically makes it so that you're more safer forcing fights, but then they just basically have to draft around this. Whatever their EXP is, whatever their gold laner is, they got to be comfortable of leaving the lane quite early and then actually forcing a fight that eventually the FYG will lose.
On a micro level, though, there is a bit of an interaction with the initial pull as well as the wall, right? You wall your opponent, you quickly fly over the wall, yoink somebody back over onto your side, and now you're isolated. They use their mobility skills. So again, small moments could play into bigger events for Evil.
I mean, that's the plan. It's a bit far-fetched in my opinion, but if it works, you know, for DFYG so far, they haven't really shown their main front lines, but in theory, if they're concerned about the dive, right, this big combo, the extra sustain from the Faramis, they might go for like a thicker front line that's immobile. That could be the angle that EVA can go for.
Evil decide to ban out the Valentina. They probably don't want the Grok ult to be stolen away, or even the Faramis ult, both of which pretty decent at what they do. Uranus, the follow-up ban for DFYG.
Yeah, so looking at the draft here, I feel like it's actually smart betting out the mid lanes because E1 has proven to be quite a problem. Like, the FYG wins and lose off of E1. If E1 was the first to get caught, then yeah, they're probably going to be losing that team fight. But as long as E1 is still alive, they will figure out a way to turn things around. Now, I wonder what is going to be the next ban. Will they ban a Pharsa? It's a good combo with the Kalia, and a Pharsa can stop the Faramis quite early. But instead, they do ban out that Esmeralda.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of all the peelers.
Are they trying to get Lapu here?
I feel like it makes more sense for DFYG to go for Lapu.
I mean, like, Evil will have the next pick.
Yeah.
So they could take it away.
AoE is what both teams will be looking for to try and get an advantage.
And
in the
Lapu
scramble.
deals with the Faramis so hard.
Exactly.
I feel
AoE
like the
death.
FYG should ban it out, or just suffer that Evil will pick it up next.
I suppose. We'll see. Final ban here coming in from DFYG. I think they're starting to realize that they're deeper in the corner than they actually realized. There we go, the Lapu ban, thank God. Now, question is, where do you go from here?
I'm curious about the gold lane, man. What gold lane do they want to pair with the Faramis? Because there are two ways of thinking about it, right? Do you want to get like a fighter so you can actually have that crashing dive power, or do you want to go for a marksman that, you know, where the Faramis can actually give you an extra layer of security?
I feel like if you want a marksman, a Granger is still fine here because, again, you're forcing out the fights. If you don't want, a Claude is honestly not that bad because the problem is you're going to deal true damage. You're going to accept true damage from the carry, but through a Faramis, it kind of doesn't matter.
Harlots.
I feel like a Fovea should be good here for Tianfeng Yaguai.
Faux Pharsa?
I think full Pharsa would work.
I guess. I'm only concerned is that Pharsa is just going to be essentially marked 24/7. Feathered Airstrike, instantly you're looking at people jumping to cancel it.
That's the main problem.
The safest is Kagura, but I don't know about that.
The FYG are okay with having like the Kalia being the only front line, because usually the Kalia just isn't as tanky. You got good sustain, but you're not exactly immune to burst damage. Ooh,
okay,
there we go. Good counter. Good teamfight presence and the Lunox.
Oh, forgot about a Lunox.
Nice. I was really worried that DFYG might overthink the situation and be like, okay, guys, we have to play for the earlier stages. Let's go with the Kimmy, and then you have like a really weird mid duo that does decently well in the earlier stages, but then just completely falls off a cliff later.
Yeah, right now for Evil, they still have the Claude, but it's very hard to play a Claude against a Lunox unless you just use the Netherrealm in combination with that Blazing Duet to deal maximum damage without dying. Because at this point, honestly, the Claude is not bad. You can still go for something like a Granger. Other than that, I'm not sure unless they bring out something funky like a Clint.
Oh,
well, Freya, it's okay. It's okay. Like, Freya can definitely force fights, especially at level 4.
Man, talk about a battering ram, right? They're hoping that their opponents just group up together and maybe Freya is able to clean up or maybe even start the initial initiation so that the Grok might have a better set. Either ways, it's heavily engage heavy on either side, dancing around.
Can I say it's pretty cool that they take the Freya away from the team from China?
Yeah.
Let me use your weapon against you.
Oh, I don't know. It's crazy. It's really crazy, especially when we're looking at the counter index being so little, but the lineup rating definitely higher for DFYG as we start making our way into the Land of Dawn.
This is going to be the second best of one for today. Evil going up against Yeongfong Yaguai. We see if Evil can actually get a win here on the Fairmans. We have not seen this since forever. Welcome to the Land of Dawn.
All right, let's jump right into this because this is where we're expecting both teams to be battling it out tooth and nail. No moment wasted. But let's talk about this Freya for a second, Arashi, because again, this has been the hot new thing that has showed up not only during the wildcards, but even the group stages.
I feel like it's susceptible to getting kited back so much, especially because right now for DFYG, they have a good amount of mobility baked into their composition. And against a dive hero like the Freya, you either kite away from it or burst it down. Technically, DFYG can do both, although with the Vengeance, right? That could be some factor where Ven can buy a bit more time, be a bit more of a problem.
But they're also calling their support down to the bottom side as we see the initial invasion from Sayla and Powerful. They need some good damage onto Superkin, but unfortunately still doesn't get the Little Wanderer.
Yeah, this is what they want to try to do. They want to establish a very early, a lot powerful, able to push them away. Ooh.
Getting chunked pretty hard here. Sayla should be okay, at least for Powerful, able to get his passive off in time.
Yeah, either ways, right now, I like what Evil is trying to do, where Powerful is able to delay the minion, so they tried to go for an early freeze, but Yeongfong Yaguai said going to the gold lane, understand that Vel honestly doesn't care, even if he's denied of some minions, but you can't say the same for long. So I like that Yeongfong Yaguai answered that freeze very, very early on.
E1, by the way, is going for the bargain hunter right here, so trying to go for those early power spikes as fast as possible. Again, I think for a lot of people, including the players themselves, they're looking at that first neutral objective fight, right, with all the ultimates ready. So setting up, clearing waves faster to ensure that you have the EXP lead is actually a big factor that I think both teams are kind of contesting.
Another thing we have to consider is that actually there's not as much CC as I would like to see on Yeongfong Yaguai. They've got a lot of decent mobility, but if Ven is on top of them, there's a pretty good chance that Lung might have to just flicker almost instantaneously if he joins that first fight. Speaking of which, it already begun. E1 getting some good damage. Phantom Execution doesn't connect, but Powerful still will collapse. The Brilliance from E1 is good enough, and unfortunately the Darkening cannot trigger in time to get relevant damage. Oh, the knockup, it's good. Vermin's able to get the ult off in time, and Superkin takes the turtle. Zed able to flicker out of there just in time as Vel. 1v3, sustaining through the damage in hopes that he finds a trade back, and they play it perfectly. Evil, no casualty in the last engagement.
Dude, Sayla yanked him away from that kill, man. It worked out so well. DFYG were able to get the neutral objective though, so overall, still pretty even, but Evil is showing that if you want to try and take them in the early game fight, this is exactly what they want.
Yeah, that's the kind of brotherly love that I like to see. Vel made it so that Aether could not get the turtle, and then Aether killed him.
That's the way. But
interesting brand of brotherly love.
Yeah.
Oh, just you wait.
I love Naruto.
This is gonna get worse as this game progresses. I want to see whether it's gonna come to a point where Aether is like, nah. Little bro's gotta sit down. Little bro's gotta sit down at some point.
Well, I kind of feel like Lil Bro is having the same idea, because I'm pretty sure it's his job to deal with both Aether as well as Sayla, and then hoping everyone else to be able to deal with Ven, right? Because the biggest problem is going to be Aether. As long as he's out of the fight, sure, the rest deals damage, but not as much.
Oh, the engagement is perfect, and unfortunately, Sayla doesn't make it there in time to save him. Unfortunately now, with the NetherRealm gone, it's just going to be another head falling over to DFYG.
Can I say that I love Faramis, one of my best heroes, but I don't know. I'm hoping Sayla can make it work, so I have an idea of how to play him right now, but I gotta say, I've not been having any luck with this pick.
I mean, especially in this game, Rafael, they're just very all-in. If you look at Evil's composition, they can go for a fight, and then they're stuck in there. They can't really get out of it, right? And DFYG are the ones with the mobility advantage. I'm curious about who is actually going to go for the healing reduction first, because DFYG have a lot of healing baked in.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Lung has none of that, as he's already been lost 50% of his HP, able to at least stay alive, didn't give too much gold over as the next turtle is already here.
Yeah, right now looks like definitely Yaguai is going to be the one pulling on their side. Aether only have a few more seconds now on that turtle boat. Vel is just waiting for him to show his face to go in.
Hey, Gear is just beating him up, and now the engagement from Sayla is good! They find Zed, take out the trigger finger as the NetherRealm already pops to save lives here. Paramedics on the scene, Superkin bails out Lung. He's thinking about this, but how does he help out Vel? Does roll the spiral, it's not good enough because that has put him in an all-compromised position as Gear has set it all up, getting another flicker, 3 battle spells, from the side of Yamfa Yao Guai, and Gear just continues to provide.
Oh!
Saved! Saved at the last second! Pulled in by the Tsunami Slam! Oh my god!
That was the sickest roam play I've seen in a while.
How did he predict that? He knew he was gonna flicker, right? He preemptively threw himself.
Just tapping away, man. Vel now, 1v3 under turret.
And now, Vel should, oh wait, hold on, he didn't take his flowing blood, and now stuck in the middle of 3 as he is getting pounded on. Gone are the days of Alice. Freya here to play.
I mean, Vel hold out against Reed, so that's still very, very good here.
Di komputer bisa pakai TV tidak?
Bisa deh. So. Bisa TV. Apaan euy? Eh. Main bola. Main bola guys.
Boleh guys. Programa con alma.
Oh, yeah. Aku sih orang. Oh, this is good. fighting. Mama. Sayang. Aduh, gila tuh. Ya.
Naon sih maksudnya Edwina naon sih? Nabung.
Nabung mas investasi.
Nabung.
Tadi no, ya investment. Goal. Aku harga tuh jadi naik tuh. Giliran naik tuh orang jadi namahan duit jadi 505 juta kena peraturan. Jadi 550 lamun turun deh.
Tapi bang saldona ieu ngah hiji jeung saldo nu utama teu?
Teu beda.
Oh beda.
Kan lamun nyokot di ditu. Lamun nyokot di ditu mereka.
Di mah teu bisa.
Teu. Ini kudu di redeem.
Di kumaha? Di teh kumaha?
Di redeem mah dicokot di.
Tuh doang. Iya eta bang.
Gimana juga.
Ah.
Tuh, sakaran teh Mas Anton teh 2,5 juta, ngajuanna 2,4 juta. Kan bahasa orang mali mah 2 tilu, ayeuna jadi 2,4. Jadi orang mah dina harga jual non, misalkan orang kan mau ke 2,4. Ngajual kan 2 tilu. Ayeuna mah 2,4 lebih ngajual teh, jadi naik duit teh.
Tapi mang mahalan kena meulinya.
Memang mahal kena meuli kan pas orang ngajual. Pas orang ngajual teh kudu sarua jeung kudu lebih ti harga beli.
Kudu lebih gede.
Tah pas orang ngajual teh kudu pas orang ngajual kudu lebih ti ieu. Kudu lebih ti harga jual ayeuna. Basa orang jual teh jadi ngajual teh kudu sarua jeung harga meuli urang mah.
Setidaknya sarua we jeung ieu gitu.
Sarua jeung ieu. Pas ngajual teh misalkan pas orang meuli teh hargana 24. Pas orang meuli teh. Tah pas orang ngajual teh kan si Mas bakal naik di 25, tapi pas orang jual teh kudu ke harga 24 deui.
Kamu turun.
Kudu turun atau kudu naik kan. Pokoknya mah pas orang meuli jeung ngajual teh kudu sarua 24 gitu. Pas orang keur ngajual, misalkan orang kan keur meuli 24 ya. Terus misalkan tahun harga naik jadi 25. Tapi pas orang ngajual teh misalkan butuh duit kudu ke harga 24 deui. Jadi masih tekor.
Jadiin invest nabung.
Investasi bisa. Ini obat. Tadi gold investment iya.
Berarti tapi sudah nangis.
Bisa. Nah.
Sama mas utama jeung mas itu beda itu. Bang setengah gram eta.
Salah 400. Kayaknya kayak 500.
Jual?
Iya ya maksudnya boleh. Iya di BRI.
Iya. BRI tanya saldo sekolah. Berarti bakal bisa kan? Si saldo
Kamu di rumah mana deposito. Jadi dicokotnya pas rek dijual. Atau rek di redeem ke pegadaian mana itu punya
iya mah dan kan di abi mah BRI tadi saldo nu sakola ya bang.
Pegadaian Cibatu. Adukan keluar kan kartu.
Tapi abang sih memang sangat beli.
Iya. Momennya itu dijual ada cokot. Kan misalkan mau dari cokot ya. Takut, saya kan ikut transfer. Kan ini loba di liga kan aya go transfer aya redeem tuh anu redeem mah tuh kantong cabang pengambilan di Batu masa tangan petan sama atau iya
Oh, silakan. Beli nabung.
pokoknya mah tiap transaksi 10.000 nggak sih gitu nyimpen nanti
Belum jaga tapi bisa.
bisa investasi emas investasi di emas
Bojanya mau investasi mending nabungnya.
kan dapatkan
Sebenarnya jangka panjang udah di. Bisa di. Muat. Tidak sakit.
Lele. Ya.